The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all.
First of all, guys, do you know what is going on? The South Africa presidency is blaming Ghana, is accusing Ghana for Ghana being the reason they are getting isolated by other African countries. Presidency accuses Ghana of fueling campaign to isolate South Africa over immigration tension. Don't forget, their president's visit was cancelled. The ambassador in Ghana was summoned. Ghana actually was the first country to repatriate its citizen back, and Ramaphosa, these gold fields and everything going on. And right now, South Africa is saying that Ghana is the reason why other African countries are isolating themselves from South Africa. Don't forget, there have been videos making rounds that some South African musicians are getting boycotted all over Africa. So right now they are blaming us, as if the Jacinta and the Victoria Africa people do not go about confronting other African nationals. South Africa wants to eat their cake and have it. Your people are going around sacking others, and then you still want others to be free with you. Then you are blaming. No, stop, don't do that too. Let's be guided. Stop blaming Ghana. You seriously stop blaming Ghana, because everybody is seeing what you're doing, and everybody is like, okay, you are free to do what you want to do in your country. So it's not by force for everybody to be friends with your country. Or with Jacinta, they can't say make nobody support them.
As the presidency, we've observed a sustained campaign that seeks to isolate South Africa from the rest of the African continent, under the guise of protesting against the recent wave of anti-illegal immigration protest that we have recently experienced here in the country. This campaign has sought to create an impression that South Africa is now a pariah state that must be referred to international courts, as some have asserted. This is despite numerous official government communication condemning acts of vigilantism against foreign nationals, asserting the state's primary role in enforcing immigration laws, and the commitment to the supremacy of our Constitution. More concerning has been the peddling of false information by a diplomatic representative of a country that has become central to this campaign. Even ordinary diplomatic exchanges over meetings have been deliberately misrepresented or distorted to create an impression that South Africa is being isolated. As the presidency, we firmly reject and caution against the peddling of misinformation against South Africa, and we further assert that any campaign that seeks to misrepresent what South Africa is and represents will be rejected with the utmost contempt that it deserves.
That is the presidential spokesman of the South African government. He is accusing a particular country on the continent of trying to isolate South Africa or make South Africa a pariah state, and that country is Ghana. The South African government is saying that Ghana is trying to isolate South Africa as a result of the ongoing anti-migrant Afrophobic violence taking place in South Africa. He is also saying that Ghana is peddling misinformation against South Africa as a result of the President Ramaphosa visit to Ghana that was cancelled. They are saying that it was a clash of schedule. It has got nothing more to do with the ongoing Afrophobic violence taking place in South Africa. He said that South Africa is not isolated. South Africa is still a member of the African continent of the African Union, and South Africa has a robust friendship with other African nations. South Africa is dealing with the situation in terms of vigilantism taking place in South Africa. I think there's a serious conflict or diplomatic rift between Ghana and South Africa and also Nigeria in this context. But this presidential spokesman is definitely talking more about Ghana, that the Ghanaian government is doing everything to isolate South Africa and also refer South Africa to the International Criminal Court of Justice. And they are saying they would not tolerate the misinformation or the tarnishing of South Africa's reputation globally, that the state would respond, which is the South African government would respond to any misinformation that would bring the name of South Africa into disrepute. For me, I think the South African government is failing on its part. Whatever she's trying to do at this time is trying to remediate the breakdown of relationship between South Africa and the rest of the governors on the continent. For so long, the South African government kept mute while its own citizens went to rampage, attacking African citizens in their country. I think it was when the pressure became enormous that the South African government decided to react. So on this occasion, let's see what is happening between South Africa, Ghana, and Nigeria and other countries within the continent. Anyway, that is what this presidential spokesman is saying about the relationship between South Africa and the rest of the continent. Thank you.
Good morning,
primarily driven by Ghana and to a lesser extent Nigeria, but not as consulted as Ghana has.
Popularly known as Peace Regents. South African has taken a big kind of contradiction, trying to paint Ghana and Nigeria the reason that all African countries are isolating them from their countries or their everything they are doing. South Africa, your president and your ministers, if they are very intelligent, they will not say this, but they will not see it this way. You know what your country been doing to these Africans that living in your country. You know what your country, your citizen of South Africa, they've been doing to a different citizen of African countries which came to your country legit. You give them work permit as legit to stay and work. They created businesses all over your country. You kill some, you beat some to death, and you took some of them, their jobs from them, and give it to South Africans. And you know it, and I know it. You that are watching me, kindly share the video. If you are a lovely African person that you know that somewhere, somehow, some people are somewhere, don't know this news and what is going on, so that they can able to see what is going on. They can able to hear and understand what is going on. Watch the video.
All of us must empathize with South Africa, or must sympathize with South Africa, and we must help South Africa to be able to drill down and find out what it can do to reduce the unemployment rate amongst the black populations, and to also change the mindset that
a big one has done.
People who have come to your country are taking your job.
She is doing work. She's working in South Africa. She has a work permit. She opened a business doing in South Africa. And you South African, this Jacinta and this kind of bamboos that is calling themselves that they are coming to do what? To resharpen their country. They march to this lady, and this lady said, I have a permit to stay in South Africa and work. And I invested money to open this salon and started working. I pay my tax. She showed all a document, but still they said, no, we don't need you in South Africa. We only need South African citizen to be working in South Africa. So they told the lady to remove out of a shop so that they will give it to a lady, South African woman. And the lady said, no, I cannot bring my money from my country, bring it to invest it here, employ South Africans and few other African ladies and the guys to work with me to contribute to your country, paying tax and everything. So they said no, they want South African lady to be working in this shop. So they end up telling the lady to vacate from the shop, leave all her belongings, and they will give it to South African lady. And the lady said, no, I bought everything with my hard-earned money, so I have to do what? To destroy everything. Because it's for me. If you are saying I should leave, I will leave. I will go back to my country, but I have to destroy everything. Watch the video.
Food is part of you. Guys, let me see your thought on the comment section. What this woman did, whether it's good or bad. Peace out. Ciao. The woman did something that shocked the world. See, this South African match, they came to this woman's shop to loot her shop and also to send her out from this shop. But do you know what this woman did? This woman said, instead of me to work out from my hard-earned business that I labored and the structure.
My name remains Hafiz Mohammed Ahmadu, popularly known as Hafiz Rogers. Sign out.
Hey, now, like South Africans, we don't know what we should do with South Africans again. I don't know why South Africans don't just want to accept responsibility. They must blame everybody for anything that happens to them. Now, South Africans are of the view that Ghana is the one that is pushing the agenda about people isolating themselves from South Africa with Nigeria. Like South Africans, you need to come again. Is it that you are pretending that you don't know what your people are doing in South Africa, or you don't just want to accept responsibility? Must you blame any other person? Nobody is the one pushing the agenda against South Africa. But people have seen, look at videos, look at even the point that women deliver on the street. The videos were everywhere. They even asked Jacinta, and she said she feels for them, but that's not their responsibility. It is their responsibility. It is their responsibility to make sure that South Africans get a job to do, whatever that is in South Africa benefits South Africans. But the other Africans, it is the responsibility of their leaders to do that. So even if children are on the street, like, they do not care. They were the same people who went into schools, went into hospitals to drive people out, and you were sitting down watching. Now you are telling the whole world that Ghana is the one pushing this agenda, when the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, even talked about how other Africans must understand your situation and see how they are going to help you create the jobs for the Black South Africans, so that you will not have the perception that it is the blacks who come into your country that are taking your jobs. Like South Africans, what else should we do for you? You are seeing what your people are doing. Even when Nigeria and Ghana were saying that South African businesses in Ghana must be taken over, you still came out and threatened them. Yet you are seeing how your people are going into shops, looting to the point that they even ate, and now they've lost their lives, and you are still blaming the foreigner. Did the foreigner ask your people to enter their shops to loot the shop? Why is it that you will never accept responsibility for once? Everything that happens to South Africans, it is another person. South Africans will never be bold to accept responsibility. Maybe you are not seeing all the things that your people are doing, but the videos are everywhere. Look at it. Your people were asking for the world to come and carry their people out. They gave them 30th June. You were there. Did you ask the people not to? So people, because they didn't want to lose their citizens. Look at the Ghanaian man that was shot dead in his shop. What have you done about? Can you bring back the life? Why are you thinking about how to protect the image of the country without looking at what your own people are doing to other people? The things are everywhere. Nobody is against South Africa, but your own people attitude are everywhere. These are not the days that social media was not available. Now, whatever you do is on the internet. We are seeing what your people are doing to people. Going into their shop, they have destroyed the lives of so many Africans. So if the Africans have now decided that they don't want South Africans' businesses in their country, is it Ghana that is pushing it, or you have brought that upon yourselves? Look at Mozambique. How many people lost their lives? Look at what is happening to a lot of people. Look at the way they were entering into shops, questioning them as if you don't have immigration officers in your countries. South Africans, for once, just be bold to accept your responsibility. When Ghanaians came for their people, you claim that Ghanaians acted too fast. So should they wait for all the people to be injured? You are going to solve the situation, you didn't solve it. Look at the Mozambicans, the Malawians. Look at how children were on the streets. You could not even get them a place. There were people who came out weeping. Even people were seeking asylum. Jacinta and Co made it clear that they don't care. They are not the ones who asked them not to have peace. There should be war in their homes. What did you do to Jacinta? What did you do to the leaders for the March and March? And you continue to blame other people because of power or because of what? Accept responsibility. Your people brought whatever that is happening to the South Africans to themselves by what they did. The videos are everywhere. So this one, there should not be any blame games here. Nobody is causing anything. But no matter what you do, people will see it. And people will take decisive action, because whatever you do to other people, you don't expect people not to act against South Africans. People will definitely react, because it is their citizens you are also treating like that. Oh, it's bad. And it's so sad. We should be ready to accept our actions and accept responsibility, because whatever actions we take today has consequences, and we should be ready for those consequences when they come.